Okay guys, to add to my patio privacy, I'm going to be making a trellis using all Dollar Tree products. They have these metal trellises. You can either get them black or green, but you guys know you can spray paint them any color that you want. So let's see how this goes. If you want to make the trellis along with me, I will be connecting several of them together. So I will be using zip ties. So do not forget to stop down the tool bench section and pick you up some zip ties. I love zip ties for crafting, and I kind of pick up a pack every time I'm in Dollar Tree just because. Okay, so I would love to be working on this outside, but it is cold, guys. So what I have done so far is I put two of the trellises together. I broke off the scrolls. These scrolls are annoying to me. They break off so easy. You don't need any tools. And I will be placing the trellis upside down and meeting it at the first crossbar, and using zip ties to secure them together. And when I'm finished with that, it will look like that. So I'm going to start with 3 across. I think that's all I need for the space. If you wanted to make it taller, you would just continue attaching the trellises together. This is my greenery. This is all Dollar Tree had. I will be lining the trellis with the fern garlands first, and then I will be adding the flowers. And this is what I went with, and it just so happens it matches the ferns perfectly. So these are the two colors that I chose. They did have other colors. So I'm going to break off those annoying scrolls, attach them with the zip ties, and then start adding the vines, the ferns, garlands. If you wanted to spray paint the trellis, which I have went back and forth in my mind about, white, let's say, when you get to this step, you would cut off the pieces of the zip ties. I didn't do that yet. And you would spray paint it at that point. Let it dry. And then attach the greenery. So I'm still on the fence of what I'm going to do, but right now I'm going to put this one together so it looks like them, and then attach all 3 together. Okay guys, so I am attaching these 2 zip ties, and I will be breaking off the metal scrolls. You don't need any tools. I thought I would. They break off so easy. If you want to keep them, because you never know, you might need them for something else, but bye-bye. They just annoy me. I don't know why. So I'm doing the same on the second trellis, and then after that, I will be ready to attach them using zip ties. And what you're going to do, what I'm doing, and you can do your own thing. The first crossbar, I'm going to attach them. And I could break off the extra pieces, but I think that will give the trellis more stability. You know, after I zip tie them, the parts that are sticking out, I could break those off as well. But again, I think it's going to make the trellis more sturdy. So I am going to zip tie those down as well. And that's it. We're ready to attach greenery. So I found these smaller black zip ties that I had. They come in a pack of black and red from Dollar Tree. It's 100 zip ties, 50 black, 50 red. And I'm going to begin attaching the first garland. Your idea is to cover as much as the trellis as possible. That's what's going to provide the shade. So that's all I'm doing. If you want to put down all of your greenery and your flowers and then zip tie it down, because you could use one zip tie to attach multiple items, you know, you can, and that will save you on zip ties. But this is the way I'm doing it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If you want to just lay all the greenery down and then zip tie it down, because you might have a flower on top of 2 of the garlands. So then you'll only need 1 zip tie instead of 3. But I'm doing it this way. I thought about that after the fact, but I'm just trying to help you. So that's all I'm doing, guys. first garland is attached, and I'm going to proceed with the next one. The fern garland was not my first choice, but by the time I got the idea for this, everything else was sold out. And it just so happens that the flowers that I have happen to have fern leaves in it. So it all worked out. So this is very simple, guys, but it's just very tedious. I'm doing it in my living room, watching TV. So, I mean, it's not hard at all. It's just very tedious, but it will be so worth it in the end. I know it. Okay, guys, this is the first trellis covered with the garlands. I found another garland that I added to the ferns. Now it's time to clip the flowers. Dollar Tree, if you're watching, can you please put the labels to these flower bouquets like on the bottom? Because sometimes it's so hard to get them off. And stop stapling the socks. Anyway, I'm going to be cutting the flowers individually and placing them on the wreath if I could ever get this sticker off. I really hate the way they placed it. It's like almost impossible. I'm just going to move on to the next one. Um, but I will be cutting them. Be sure when you're cutting them, if you want to do it like I'm doing, that you cut it below the fern. The ferns are attached to the flowers. Um, almost at the end. So just make sure you're not cutting too high. Okay, so I'm just cutting individually, one flower at a time, and then we will be placing it on the wreath. Now what you can do, if before you zip tie them, you could place the flowers to see where you want them to go. I do this often when I'm making a wreath. I place the flowers before I secure them, just so I'm sure. You know what I mean? So my suggestion to you is to do that as well. And you want to make sure that you have as much of the open spaces covered, because the whole point of this trellis, yes, it's going to add beauty, but also you want it to add shade and you want it to add privacy. So make sure you look for the open gaps and spread out the flowers as much as you can, because that's going to give you some space. I mean, that's going to fill in the holes even more. Just going to move some around for color reasons. For color coordination. And I think this is beautiful, guys. I really think this is beautiful. One down, two more to go. I'm going to go back to Dollar Tree and I think pick up some more flowers to help fill in the holes. But yeah, here we are. This is the third trellis. I repeated the same thing I did with, the first one. Repeated that because I'm making three of them. Those two are already attached together. I'll show you a full pic in a second. Problem. I only had one fern garland for this one. But with the other greenery garland that I had and with the flowers, you really can't tell. And I went to Dollar Tree to get more small zip ties and also to get more flowers, and I only found them in the light color. I didn't find any more red. I'm hoping that I won't need to attach another trellis to this to make four across. I'm hoping that it will fit with three. I'm hoping. So yeah, I'm gonna add a couple more flowers just to fill in, and I'm not going down all the way because this is going to attach to a lattice gate already. This is just to, I'm building up upon that. Now, if you guys wanted to go all the way to the floor, and I'll show you, this is not a good angle, but if you guys wanted to, yeah, I'm about to knock y'all over. You could go all the way to the floor. You could make this as tall as you want this to be. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, this is what I meant, guys. Like I said, if you wanted to make it taller, you could do it that way, but I don't need it to be that tall. I just hope that it's wide enough for the space. So the last thing for me to do, one of the last things for me to do, is to attach the third one to the other two. And then I'll be back. Okay, what you will need now is two Dollar Tree broomsticks, and I measured them to the height of the tall white gate that divides the townhouse patios, and I will be attaching this to my white gate that I bought from Amazon. And also, one end of the trellis will be zip tied to this, and the other will hang on hooks that I put on the white gate. I know it sounds crazy, but you know what? I never did this before. Let's try it. I do have a backup plan for this if this does not work. I do have another area outside it can go, so it's not for waste. But we're going to think positive. It looks so pretty. So the backup plan is, if I can't get it to mount properly, I will hang it over here on top of the bench, and I absolutely love it. So either way, it's not a waste. So easy to do. The black pole is zip tied to the white gate. Sorry about the glare, guys. See why we need shade in this area. And I'm going to put the removable hooks here to hold the trellis and then zip tie it to the pole. Let's see how this goes. Guys, I'm so happy that it worked. Sometimes I get these crazy ideas and they just come to me, and I'm so happy when they work out. I'm like the worst. I don't measure. Yeah, I don't use power tools, but that's going to change. I bought a drill, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Now, if you were leaning this up against your house and you were going to make it taller, my suggestion is to get some wood from Lowe's or your local hardware store, Home Depot, and staple the trellis down to the wood. This way you'll be able to lean it against the house. I was attaching it to two gates, so my situation was different, and I also did not have to go low because you see the lattice expandable fence that I have. Okay, guys, I hope that I did better with this video and not dragging it out. Short and sweet, to the point, easy to follow. I really hope that that's how it translates, because that was my intended goal. I'm so excited that my plan worked. I never did anything like this before. The whole idea is that when you sit in this chair with that space open, the sun beats on your back. So the patio's only but so big. If it's just me and I Spy, somebody just doesn't sit in this chair. If it's really, really hot and the sun is beaming, we just move to another seat. But if you have company, you might need to use the seat, and you want to be comfortable, or you want your guests to be comfortable. So I'm so happy. What I am going to do is fill in the holes. I do have 2 more bouquets of flower, and I did find another garland, and I will be adding that. I mean, you could build upon it as well as you want. I don't want to make it too heavy. I am going to go back to Dollar Tree and get another reusable hook, just to add more support. I have reusable hooks on this lattice gate holding it in place, and they've been out here for 2 years with all the rain, because we get a lot of rain. They have held up, so I'm hoping that those will do the same. My backup plan was to put it over there and hang it over there. Hopefully we get a lot of wind. The wind should pass through this, so that should not be a factor, but if it becomes a factor, I always can relocate it over there. I do have 2 extra trellises as well that I could make some over there, just greenery over there, over the storage bench, just to add just some more coziness to it. I'm really thrilled how everything came out. We do enjoy the patio. We had lunch out here today. I mean, granted, the 90-degree weather's coming, but in the evening or early morning, if you want to sit out here and have coffee, just breathe fresh air. I work in a face mask and a face shield for 12 hours. I want as much fresh air as I possibly can get. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you soon. If you're new, subscribe. I'd love to have you. For my returning subscribers, for my new subscribers, welcome. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.